Pat Rulon for Garments, Gear, and Go. So this section, I was telling you I'm gonna specialize in early season whitetail deer hunting, which is bow hunting here in Missouri, and in most places that's what they're gonna open up with. So let's get right into it. I'm gonna start with the hats. Obviously I don't wear this is my Wyoming hat. But what I do wear, I'm gonna turn the camera and show you kind of what I use as far as all the different gear. So stay with me. What I've got here are several different hats, and I'm going to show you one of my favorites first. This is actually used for turkey hunting for the most part, but as you can see, it's got a built-in veil. And this hat, probably picked it up for about $9 or so on sale. Might have been at one of the big box stores or Walmart, but you can find these hats, and you just wear it and you don't have to worry about anything else concealing you. You don't have to wear paint. You just put this on and go, and it keeps actually the mosquitoes away, because early season you're going to have that, especially if it's raining. If I'm wearing paint, then I am wearing one of my favorite hats with the American flag or some of my other hats. But it's if you got paint, you can put it on your face, black and brown and green, and then you just have to wear this. Next, if it's a little colder out, I'll wear a very thin fleece hat. This is not a thick hat. It's thin, and it does keep the cold out, but it's not built for, you know, -6 degrees weather. This is for early morning, and maybe it's down to 40 degrees or 45 or something like that. Keep you warm until the sun comes out in the early season. And here's another favorite Wyoming hat. It's got thinner material. It's got a little bit more open pores in it, if you will. It's more of a mesh on top, but inside it's black. And once we get in, this is the garment section, but once we get into the gear, this is important. I flip it and it turns black. Okay, reversible. This is important to me. I'll rip off the tag, but black is great when you're hunting out of a ground blind. So this hat can be used in a tree stand, or it can be used in a blind. So very usable in both situations. All right, and I'm going to show you gloves. As I said before, gloves are important. I wear them all the time. I rarely take my gloves off when I'm in the field. This is extremely thin as well. They cover all the way up past the wrist. They're thin, but yet they have rubber to help me hold the bow and my arrows and those kind of things. But what it's really there for during the season is to mask your scent. You won't leave your scent on trees or your stands. So you can get these gloves. I mean, they're expensive. They can be $24 to $30. I find them, you know, off season, you know, for $7 to $9 at Walmart. You can find similar gloves at Home Depot. They'll have a 3-pack, maybe not be exactly like this, but they'll be camoed out gloves like this that are 3-pack for $10. You don't have to buy the $25 to $34 pair of gloves, which I can't understand why they do that. By the way, same goes with pants. Pants, let me lay these out. These are just pants. I don't understand paying, you know, $60 or more, $70 for a pair of pants. For early season, these are just your, you know, denim type of pant that are light enough to take early season. I can get those for $12 to $15 over at Walmart. 5-pocket, zipper in the front. You know, heck, they're extremely affordable. You can buy several of them and not have to worry about all of this garments that I've shown you, the hats and stuff. Again, look around the internet, look for sales, look for stores going out of business or taking out their hunting section. I just had one big box store take out all of their hunting section, and I got stuff for really, really cheap. All right, let's move over to boots, footwear. So the first pair, they look like it's a heavy boot, and it's not. This is my light pair of early season boots, and they're flexible, yet they're durable, and they keep me dry, and they keep me warm. They have a high insulation value. It's 1,000. I will say this, I spent more money on boots because the first thing that will drive you in from your deer stand or your deer blind will be cold feet, and this is important. So I spent a little, little more money, but I'm going to keep these boots for years and years and years. But again, shop around. There are stores that sell these same boots for a lot more money than if you went to a specialty store and tried to, find if they have a sale going on. My next boot is my muck boot. It's a rubber boot. Now this one's insulated. And the nice thing about this is that the insulation and the top part of the boot can actually be rolled down. So if it's a hot day and I don't want to wear it up to my calf, I can roll this piece. It actually rolls all the way down to about here. So it's acting like just a regular boot. But I wear these, they're real quiet. Both are quiet, but this one's really quiet. It's tough, it's flexible, and I can roll it down to keep my feet warm or cool. And if it's rained out and I'm going through streams or ponds, these are waterproof, absolute 100% waterproof. So I've got to have two pair of boots. I've got a light boot, keeps me warm, and general purpose, little hardier as far as stiffness goes than this boot. And then I make sure that on either boot, I don't bring my heavy socks. I bring a very thin pair of long socks. These are lighter wool, but they're also polyester, so they're not a thick wool sock. They're light, and there are some socks out there that actually wick away your sweat. They're a lighter, thinner sock. I don't like them. That's a preference, but the reason I wear a long sock instead of a shorter sock is because if you wear a shorter sock, there's chances in these boots that those small socks will get kicked around and you'll get blisters because they'll ride down on these boots. So you don't want to get blisters, and that's why I always wear the long socks in my boots. That's just a perfect preference. I've gotten blisters with short socks, so I try not to do that. Next, won't spend a lot of time on it, but belts. Get a good belt. I've got Camo belt, and believe it or not, I turned one of my dress belts that was getting older into one of my hunting belts. It's leather, it's tough, and honestly, deer don't see it. So belts are not one of those things that I worry too much about as far as it just doing its job. It doesn't have to be camoed. All right, so now we're going over to coats. And in 85-degree weather, believe it or not, there are mornings here, at least in the Midwest, where you're going to need a little bit more. So I tie these coats around me, around my waist, or I put it on my backpack. This is a fleece, a very light fleece coat that I picked up after season, and most of these coats I don't spend more than 15 to 20 bucks. These are light, zip up, and that's important. I don't wear sweatshirts that you pull over your face, because I'm usually hiking a great deal of distance on my properties, and I want to be able to unzip. If I do get hot, I need to unzip and get that off. So all of my gear that I'm wearing out in the field is going to have a zipper in the front. Here's another one. It's more green. It's got green, so early season with the leaves being in, to match up, I'm going to wear probably this green one a little bit more than some of the other ones that I've got that are more brown, more fall. That's if it's not raining. Those two jackets, if it's not raining and it's just a little bit cold, like 40, 45 in the mornings, I'm going to wear those. Now, if it's raining, I got a really neat jacket that I can wear. It's waterproof, and it doesn't have a hood, but I do have waterproof hoods. And inside, it's not really a mesh material, but it's cloth. And so there's a lot of rain jackets that inside is just rubber or plastic, and I always sweat in those, so I try to find garments. This one also has a hole in it. Sorry, this one has a hole in it in the back of it, so that you can put your strap that when you strap yourself into the tree, and we'll get to that, that it has a hole to do that. But this keeps you from sweating the material. It's not just like this on the outside. It's not plastic rubbing up against you and you're getting all sweaty during a rainstorm. This is a great jacket, and I didn't spend a ton. I probably spent a little bit more, obviously, than the fleece jackets. Those are usually pretty inexpensive, and this keeps you warm. All right, and let's go over my shirt. All right, so this shirt in particular is so thin that if you hold up, you can actually see through the back of it. Let me take it over here. It's really thin. It's a long sleeve shirt, and these shirts, honestly, they sell them for $24 to $38. Whether it's long sleeve or not, they're going to sell them for a lot of money. If you sweat in it, it wicks away really quick. So when you're really hot, it just dries pretty quick. But I find these shirts from $5 to $9 when they're on sale off season or coming into the season before they mark them up. And I can get them at Walmart. I can get them at some of the specialty stores. Some of the specialty stores will put their company logo on the front. You know, they'll want their name on it. So, you know, probably not spend more than $9, $10, maybe $12 for these if you find them right. But I wear this because it's that season. One other thing, if you don't want to wear the hat with the veil on it or the neck wrap, you can get a simple scarf that if it's cold in the morning, just wrap your neck and you can wrap your face in it. Pretty simple as far as that goes. The garment section is pretty simple, but it's important because the next season, when we start getting into fall and winter, it's a whole different group of garments that you're going to be wearing. You're going to wear some of the same garments, but there are going to be more layers involved. So we'll get to that next time. And if you have any questions, email me or Facebook me, and I'll try to answer them. Thank you.